It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.
Every learner's journey begins with content, from what they are taught, how it is taught, and how it is delivered. But in today's Nigeria, content isn't coming from just textbooks anymore. With the rise of EdTech, could it be that the way we design, deliver, and consume learning content is taking a turn? Welcome to EdTech Mondays Nigeria, a platform that facilitates critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. I am Chinyelu Akpa, your host, and it's great to be here again. In today's episode, we are exploring a fundamental part of Nigeria's education value chain: curriculum development and teaching delivery. We are asking how technology has reshaped curriculum development in Nigeria. Are teachers leveraging these tools to reduce workload and improve learning outcomes? And for publishers, is technology a threat or a leverage for the future of education? To unpack this, we have brought together guests representing curriculum developers, startups innovating in content, and teachers who are at the front lines. Our first guest is a mathematics teacher and the founder and CEO of High Prep, a growing EdTech platform helping K-12 students learn better through one-on-one engagement, consistent practice, and real-time feedback. With over a decade of experience as a mathematics teacher across public and private schools, she now leads a team of over 160 teachers dedicated to helping students build consistent study routines and improve academic performance across various subjects and exam preparations. Her work bridges the worlds of pedagogy and technology with a clear focus on long-term impact. Join me to welcome none other than Adanma Ugwu. Hello, Adanma. It's good to have you here.
Likewise, thank you so much, Chinyelu. I am so excited to be here and I'm looking forward to the conversations.
Great. And our second guest is an award-winning education leader with over 15 years of experience in curriculum design, learning and development, and education reform. She has designed and led programs that strengthen teaching, learning, and leadership, particularly in underserved communities. At Teach for Nigeria, she serves as the head of alumni development, creating opportunities and pathways for over 160 leaders, driving change in education nationwide. As a certified master trainer with the TRCN, she consults for the British Council and WAEC on curriculum reform, school leadership, and inclusive education. Let's welcome Omotola Francis-Akinlolu to the show today. Welcome, Omotola.
Thank you so very much. I look forward to a wonderful time here.
It is a loaded conversation. We started last week on the role of technology in strengthening Nigeria's education value chain. And this week, we are taking it, deeper, as I said. So let me start with our first question. How has technology reshaped curriculum development in Nigeria? I think this is a right time to have this conversation. I know that teachers listening are itching, parents are twitching, everybody is charged because we just launched Nigeria's new curriculum, and we've been waiting for this for the longest time. So this is the best time to have this conversation. How has technology reshaped curriculum development in Nigeria?
Thank you so very much. I mean, broadly put, technology has played a very vast role in curriculum development in the world. I mean, looking at it from the curriculum point of view, how curriculum developed from being, a structural approach or a structural concept to postmodernism, where technology helped decade in and out to reform what we teach, how we teach it, the content, even how the students interact with it. And, zooming into Nigeria, we have seen what technology has done. A good example, you've mentioned it, our current curriculum, you will see a lot of infusion of technology, based content. We have digital literacy, artificial intelligence, and some other AI skills, robotics, being brought to the public, space. Before it used to be basically solely, with private institutions and some other NGOs. But now it's coming because technology has shaped how the future of work would look like. And because our, government and curriculum experts are saying that we need to develop students and learners that can face this world, because, we've seen what technology can do. We need to infuse that into what they learn so that they don't go out and graduate after school and just learning the skills. Talking about, M&E assessment reports or assessment generation as it were, technology has helped us as curricularists to shape how the children are assessed. All right. I was thinking about it, why just coming here, how it used to be when we were, and I'm quite young as it were, but during those times where we had to write exams, JAM, for instance, you write JAM, you have to wait for about 3 months before it comes out. You don't know what you've done well until it comes. But now, with the advent of technology infusion in our curriculum, we're able to get faster assessment, broader assessment, more holistic assessment, and aside from tools, of course. So another way that technology has also helped us is the tools, that students would need and teachers need and they use to teach. So gone are the days where we are focused on a particular learning style, even in the underserved community. Now we have, the phones, we have the radio, we have those like low-tech tools, apart from the big ones where children can see, children can listen, children can hear. And the overarching goal of all this is to enhance learning, outcomes, so that through the curriculum, we are creating and raising children that are fit for the now and the future. And we'll see the role of technology in ensuring that this movement is still, constant and upgoing.
I think at this point we can go home because our work here is done. But it will be unjust to Adanma, who has digitized learning. I have seen you speak, and congratulations, by the way, because we know that you just received, an award for EdTech. So congratulations. And this goes to show that what she's doing works, right? So you have digitized learning. And to do this, there had to be a different way. Even before we introduced this new curriculum, there had to be a different way you figured we could teach. Because we are saying, what are we teaching? How are we teaching it? What's the method? How is it being delivered? So how did technology reshape curriculum development and delivery for you as first a teacher and now an innovator, an EdTech founder?
Okay, thank you so much for that question, Chinyelu. I'm going to try to make it and keep it as personal as possible because, from personal experiences. The first thing is actually the fact that we have access to a lot more options, a lot more information to fine tune what we are doing. Understanding that, for a curriculum now to work, it has to actually serve not just within our locality, right? But then also to raise like children that are, global standard kids that can solve problems at a global level, right? And so for that to happen, then the fact that technology has made it easy for us to have access to different information, data that we can use to improve the content of what the kids are learning. That's the very first thing. The next thing is the fact that we are better able to tell how kids are learning. We're better able to measure how much learning is taking place in the classroom. I have this tool, a very simple Google form that would normally use, to assess children. And at the end of that assessment, immediately the assessment is over, you can as well tell what question the kids struggled the most with. You can tell what question they found easier. You can tell, even you as a teacher, it gives you an idea of what worked from what you have developed. Oh, is there a skill that probably the children are all having, they all have like misconception about? Is there something you want to rework? It would tell you everything. And that amount of data and information just continues to help us to reform our delivery and, to update what we're doing. And it's just so easy, and so that's why sometimes when I hear that some schools are not embracing technology, it makes me wonder like how, right? Because we are in a world where things are a lot easier to access. Information is easy to access. Every single thing is very easy to access. And so what this thing does for us is that it makes this thing very easy. Access gives you access from, the comfort of home. And then you're able to make faster decisions as teachers, as educators, as school leaders, right? And yeah, and all of this is just to add to what the previous speaker had initially said.
Thank you so much, Adanma. So I think I'll continue from you because you have mentioned something really profound that, there's the access to data. There's access to information. You're going beyond what works in Nigeria. You see what is working in Ghana. You know what's working in Kenya. You know what's working in Rwanda. You know what's working in Finland. And you can look for ways to bring all of this home to contextualize for you. But now, as teachers, do you think they are leveraging technology enough to first reduce their workload and then improve learning outcomes? Because if we've established that with technology, we can have sweeter curriculums, we can have better ways of delivering, we can have almost everything that you need to teach any child anything. Do teachers, which remember we're talking about the role of technology in strengthening the education value chain, are teachers taking advantage of this technology to reduce the 1 million things that they have to do between 7:45 in the morning and 2 p.m. when school closes? Or are we just, having sweet conversations and no action at all? Adama.
So what I believe is adoption is slow. A lot of teachers are still at the point where they are having conversations around, is technology going to replace the teacher or not? And I mean, while we can see already how amazing technology, what's the amazing stuff that technology is able to do for teachers. When I was in the classroom, I know how much time a lot of things by the side used to consume, on the part of the teacher, from, lesson planning, creating lesson slides, creating assessments, a lot of things that just goes on behind the scene that, consumes the teacher's time, right? And then we have a simple tool today that can actually take care of all of these things, and teachers can focus on lesson delivery. And, as little as 3 minutes, you can create a lesson plan. As little as 3 minutes, you can create a lesson slide that you're going to use to teach. But then teachers are not necessarily embracing these tools, because I think most of the conversations that I've seen online are mostly conversations around, oh, so if I use this tool, does that mean the school is going to, survive without me? We're still having conversations around if technology is going to replace a teacher or not. And personally, I feel like that's not where the conversation should be. The thing about technology is when it has come to stay. And the most important thing is every single person is supposed to be thinking, how can we adopt this to actually improve our lives, both in terms of, buy us more time to focus on what matters, and also in terms of helping the kids even improve learning outcome for the kids. We have the simple tool that enables you as a learner, for example, in the classroom, you can have very easy access to a lot of content online, right? Teaching content. And imagine a teacher who decides to use like chalk and marker to write like questions on the board before you're done drawing those questions, drawing things, illustrations. Someone else who has all of this stored somewhere has already delivered their lessons and helping the kids that are struggling to catch up. But then when you're spending all of this time trying to draw, trying to show, this is where the mouse is. Imagine drawing like a computer to teach a child about a computer, right? So these are some of the things that are really taking our time, and these are some of the reasons why when you see results of our key key exams, we are also always very disappointed. Be it JAM, be WAEC, there's always that disappointment, like what's going on in classrooms, right? Does it mean that kids are so distracted? I really don't think it's about the distraction. I just think it's about the fact that teachers do not have the time to deliver the content at the level that it should be delivered because of so many things that they are distracted by.
Let's come to you. Let's hear from you, Omotola. Are teachers leveraging technology enough to reduce workload? We've heard from Adanma.
Yeah.
You've heard everything she said. Don't need to recount it. Are teachers doing enough to streamline all their efforts to ensure that that time spent in school, that 45 minutes or 40 minutes, is 40 minutes of value and not just of mindless activity?
Thank you so much. Well, I think that the answer to this important question has different layers to, explore. I mean, it would be wrong to say teachers aren't doing it. It will also be deceptive to say all teachers are doing it. I do not have the data, but I can tell you that there are different angles to adoption and implementation of technology in class. There are some teachers that they have access to, for instance, this beautiful podcast. They can hear, they have internet access. There are also teachers that they do not even have an Android phone. There are teachers that are young enough, and by young, I do not mean age. They are ready to learn enough to go beyond what the school is providing, to learn themselves, to join WhatsApp group, to explore. And there are some teachers that are a bit more conservative and say, no, let me follow structure. One thing I'd like to say is that, like Adanma said, our high-stake exams result is showing that this beautiful, integration of technology is yet to be well circulated. Now, and another thing for me, why I am happy with this curriculum, in as much as it has its own teaching, issue, is that the government is gradually, it's a journey, integration fully into technology. It's a journey. And I am happy that, the conversation is going on, advocacy is going on. Yeah, it's still slow, but we're moving. So with this new curriculum now, the government is telling every school that one way or the other, we should start talking about it. It's also an avenue for NGOs, for, funders to start talking about it, because now we're saying it's the way to go. So back to your question, it is not well circulated. Teachers, and again, like I was saying, there are different things. There are mindsets. So there are some that, like Adanma, emphasize that they just don't want to make a move. They just, is it fear or whatever? But the mindset is they are anti-tech. And there are some that they are doing it, they want to do it. Some even have the resources, but they don't have the training yet. So it is actually multi-layer, and it is quite sad that we're still here. But I know that we're moving. We will get there. When? I don't know.
So it's not all, bleak and doom.
Yeah,
there
it
is
is not.
something that can be done. Okay, now, what interdependencies exist between content developers, publishers, innovators like Adanma, teachers, and decision makers? How is technology influencing this value chain? What is technology doing anything? Is it for better? Are things getting worse?
Technology is a leveler, like you said. So it's like a baton that we need to pass around before we get to our goal. So from the policymakers, for instance, they have the policy. They want to see, so they have given us the broad vision to make Nigeria, our curriculum become more competency-based now. So they pass it, to the curriculum developer that, look at both the content, the objective, the learners, how we're able to bring everything together to ensure that this objective is met. Now, technology will also help those that will now break this content, break this objective into actionable steps to say, okay, how do we ensure that the content is rich enough? Like, Adanma mentioned, opportunity to have different content. You're able to get, a vast library of content. So technology helps you to enrich the content. Technology helps the teachers to also decide, how best, their teaching approach would be. How do I introduce it, for instance? Do I need to play a video? Do I need them to go on field trip? Do I need them, virtual field trip? Do I need them to exchange? Do I need them to watch video? Do I need to simulate learning? Technology does that. So for publishers also, technology helps them to get on-the-spot feedback. So gone are the days, when I was looking at general mathematics, and coincidentally, I also read mathematics, when we had mathematics text, when you say revised edition, maybe in 5 years time, like that. But right now, technology has enabled it to be on the spot. So you have your e-copy, you have your e-books. Learn Africa now has started, distributing, or they started campaigning that, you can do e-books, like that. And some other, publishers like that. So they are able to get their feedback now. Also, it has encouraged, multi-diverse questions. So no more the same pattern, theory and objective. It is richer. So technology has been able, and it is still, helping every one of us to helping every one of us to achieve our objective, which is to support learning outcomes. Because without technology, we will just be running in silos. Teachers pick the content and teach the way they think, based on the knowledge they have. The publisher writes based on what they have known. The government formulates policies and they are not right how they think like that. But with technology, we're able to bring our ideas together, learn from the word, outside word, and put it into use.
And now wrapping this up, how do you see the future of content delivery leveraging technology in Nigeria?
There's a song that came to my mind, but I will not sing it.
We want to hear from you.
Very bright. Eventually, we would get there. However, it is beyond wish. There are still a lot of gaps. In as much as, the conversation is ongoing, but beyond conversation, it is now time for us to all roll our sleeves and get to work. There's a huge training gaps. Like there's this saying that, an expensive tool, technology in the hands of an untrained teacher, it's just an expensive toy. And the results that we keep getting year in and out will not improve. So yeah, in as much as with the curriculum, with the kind of conversation, thanks to CC Hub, this kind of conversation, we know that a time would come when Nigeria will eventually take its place as a competency-based society. However, before we get there, there's a lot, in terms of, policy reforms. There's a lot in terms of, now another thing is for us to do, to postulate theories and the rest. Now follow up, training and retraining, insight, the funding also. How do we manage a mindset shift? There's this term in curriculum development, we call them agents of fit. Now, when you say agents of fit, these are people, as it were, or value chains that work together to ensure that learning outcomes are achieved in society. So apart from the policy makers, the teachers, the society, that's what I'm going. So the student, the teachers, the school environment, the society. So why I'm bringing them is, when I talked about the mindset shift, if we bring, for instance, let's say, laptop, tabletop to a community that has not been well, I don't want to use indoctrinated, like that hasn't been well, informed about the power of it, they will steal it. So we're back to square one. Also, now WAEC, I'm sure that you're aware that first time ever WAEC 2 has started, the hybrid model of examination, CBT, writing CBT online. This is to tell you that whether we like it or not, we just have to move because our exam bodies are actually showing that. So the future is colorful, but for us to get there, it takes a whole lot more than what we're doing. It takes a whole lot more than we do.
Thank you so much, Omotola, and thank you once again, Adanma, for doing justice to the role of technology now in content development, design, which is the same development, and very importantly, delivery. We hope you, our listeners, have taken something out of this. Curriculum is the heartbeat of learning. And as we've seen today, technology is not just reshaping what is taught, but how it is delivered. Technology in education in Nigeria is here to stay. So every linkage of Nigeria's education value chain needs to wake up and unroll their sleeves, as Omotola has advised, and figure out how to use technology to their advantage. And now to you, our listeners, is Nigeria moving fast enough? Are we doing well in using technology to strengthen how we teach? Are we doing well in using technology in strengthening how we develop content, how we revise our subjects, how we revise our curriculum? We'd love to hear from you. If you're a teacher, this is the time to speak. If you're a learner, this is the time to give your feedback. If you're a parent that has wards in schools in Nigeria, this is the time to tell us if you think schools and the education systems are doing enough in using technology to devise better ways of developing the things that your students and your children are learning. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a WhatsApp message or a text message, or you can call us on any of these numbers: 0703 165 0809 or 0706 402 0742. Remember, this is the time to speak. Is technology doing well enough in giving you good content to support you either as a teacher or as a student or as a parent? Remember, the conversation does not stop here. In case you know anyone who has missed out on this episode or any of our previous episodes, do not worry, we have you covered. Hurry on now to Spotify, search for EdTech Mondays Nigeria, or go to YouTube, CC Hub Africa, search EdTech Mondays Nigeria, and you can take part in this conversation and the many more we have had. And if you know you want to join our very active community of change makers, passionate about using technology to improve teaching and learning in Nigeria, the best place to do that is by joining our Telegram or WhatsApp communities. Simply search for EdTech Mondays Nigeria on Telegram or on WhatsApp. Join that community and be a change maker passionate about improving education, leveraging technology. And until I come your way, same time, same station, I remain your host, Chinyelu Akpa. Keep using technology to push the frontiers on education. It's bye for now.
It's time for EdTech Mondays, brought to you by MasterCard Foundation and CC Hub.